guys, it's Kay and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, definitely be sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment. So for today's video, you guys, I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit, make it a little bit more personal, really just have a chit chat with you guys. Today I'm going to be talking all about how I personally plan to rebrand myself, to reinvent myself, and to completely change my life for the next 12 months, to completely just level up, okay you guys? And I wanted to make this video to really just put that out there, and also because I know that there's probably somebody out there that's looking to rebrand themselves, looking to reinvent themselves as well. So if you want to know more, just continue watching and we're going to go ahead and get on into it. So first and foremost, you guys, when we talk about, reinventing ourselves and rebranding ourselves, I think it's important to understand why we want to reinvent ourselves in the first place. And also, huge disclaimer, you guys, just to put it out there, these are just things that I'm going to be doing personally for myself this year. And these are tips that you can incorporate into your lives as well, if that's something that you want to do. Like I said, you guys, first things first, we want to actually determine why it is that we want to rebrand ourselves or reinvent ourselves in the first place. And I know for me, the main reason that I wanted to reinvent myself in this season is because, quite frankly, and just being completely honest, you guys, I didn't like the season that I was in mentally, spiritually, physically, and I definitely feel like, over the past 2 years, it's been a really transformational period, just to say the least. So many crazy things have been going on over these past 2 years, and I personally think that now is the most perfect time to really just put yourself out there, rebrand yourself, and truly decide who it is that you want to become and what you want to do. I'm a firm believer in, if you don't like where you are, or you don't like, the things that you're doing, or you don't like the space in life that you're in, you can always, and you should always, continue to just reinvent yourself, rebrand yourself. This is not the first time, you guys, that I've actually made the decision to reinvent myself, and it's probably, for you watching, it's probably not the first time that you've reinvented yourself either. I think back to a time where, just a season or a period in your life changed, whether it was you got a new job, or you quit an old job, or, you went to a new school, or you graduated college, like whatever it is, there's been so many periods in your life, more than likely, that you've had to rebrand yourself or reinvent yourself or create a new version of yourself that's more suitable for, the lifestyle that you want to live in this present day. It's something that we do, or that we're going to do, whether we like it or not, right? And so for me, I think it's just super important to really just take control, really just take control of your situation, take control of your life, and instead of just letting life kind of happen to you and just come at you, get out in front of it, right? And actually decide and, be really firm on what it is that you want to do, so that you can honestly create the life that you truly want to live. That's really why I've chosen, this specific period or this specific season to truly just step into a new version of myself. And it's honestly such a breath of fresh air. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's such a breath of fresh air. It feels so good. So if you guys didn't know, I'm actually, going to be shifting careers in this season as well. I'm actually in the process of getting my real estate license, so that's something that I'm doing to actually rebrand and reinvent myself, stepping into a new lane. Also, like I already said or already mentioned, I'm going to be taking YouTube, and in my channel, to a whole different level this year. So I'm super excited about that. So it's really just about, understanding who you are as a person right now, and understanding what it is that you want and what's necessary to actually be able to get to where you want to go in this season of your life. Another thing that I want to say before I move forward is that, we have to remember that at the end of the day, life moves in seasons, life happens in seasons. And when you keep that in mind, you understand that there are going to be high points in your life, there are going to be low points in your life, there are going to be seasons where things are just happening and manifesting in your life in just crazy ways. There's going to be seasons where you feel like you feel stuck. That's just the reality of life. And once you accept that life is going to move in seasons, whether you like it or not, you can actually start to move through those seasons and really start to grow through those seasons and take the lessons that are being given to you or being shown to you in each season as they come. All right, you guys, so the first step that I'm personally going to be taking to actually create the life that I desire, to truly reinvent myself, to step into a completely different version of myself in 2022, is deciding who I want to become. So for a long time in my life, and for so many different periods and seasons in my life, I've always set goals kind of just focusing on what it is that I want. Oh, I want a new car, or I want to, live here, or I want to make X amount of money, right? So I've always set my goals kind of focusing on what it is that I want. But in this season, I think it's super important to set your goals on who it is that you need to become in order to receive the things that you want. Because I feel like, really embodying and stepping into the person that is ready to receive the things that you want is almost more important than focusing on what it is that you want, because it really goes into the law of assumption. If you guys are familiar, really assuming or stepping into, right, what you want as if it's already yours. Okay, so operating as that person that makes X amount of money, or that lives in wherever you want to live, or drives whatever you want to drive. I think it's an important distinction to make, to really focus on who you need to become to receive those things, rather than just placing all your focus on what you want in the physical or those material things, if that makes sense. So stepping into that version of yourself and really deciding what that version of yourself looks like 12 months from now, or whatever the time frame that you're putting on it. For me specifically, it's 12 months. Like, I have a 12-month time frame. I have a vision of who I want to be at the end of those 12 months. And like I said, you guys, I'm starting right now. So it is April of 2022. So this is not something that just has to start at the beginning of the year. You can start wherever you are. You can always reinvent yourself. And stepping into that person is just so essential. Another huge part that goes hand in hand with that is really just letting go of that old version of yourself, right? Letting go of the past versions of yourself. So whether it's a good or bad connotation that you kind of have of yourself. And I'm gonna break that down. So what I'm saying is, there were times for me over the past 2-3 years, right? Really from 2019 up until now, where, I just thought that I had to be a certain type of person, or I just thought I had to uphold a certain type of persona or a certain image, or I thought that the goals that I had and the career that I had to be successful at that, or I wouldn't be successful at all. Even when it comes to me traveling, I know 2019 I was traveling the world and doing so many things, living my best life, right? And it came to a point, when COVID started and all that good stuff, where it really started eating at my confidence that, I wasn't, hitting certain marks, or, I wasn't this person, or living up to this expectation that I had placed on myself. So it was just a period of me just like literally doubting myself, or, not having the appropriate confidence, just basically because I was putting so much of an expectation on myself to do things that I wasn't even understanding that were just a part or a stepping stone in my journey, and just making them bigger than they had to be. So what I'm saying is, let go of those past versions of yourself, let go of those past failures, but also let go of those past successes, you guys, because both of those can hold you back. Really just make a decision to just start fresh, to start clean, to start where you are, and to step into the version of yourself that you want to become overall, because that is really should be the only focus that you have, really when you're reinventing yourself. You want to let go of the old and welcome in the new. And so another thing that I will say, you guys, that helps with that is mentally decluttering, freeing your mind of expectations of yourself that you might have had, or a career that you might have been in, or anything like that. Like, mentally just freeing yourself from those limitations that you might have felt in the past, from those things that might have not worked out the way that you thought that they would. I want you to know that everything is working out exactly as it should, girls. So let that pain, let that hurt, let those successes, let all of it go, and really step into who you want to become in this season. Also, something that helps with mentally decluttering is also forgiving people, or even forgiving yourself for any wrongs that anyone has done on you as well. Forgiveness, you guys, is honestly something that can truly transform your life, and that's something that I've learned within this specific season 100% wholeheartedly. Forgive those maybe toxic friends, or toxic relationship, toxic partners that you might have had, even if it's your parents, right, or people that are in your family that have done you wrong. Forgive all those people. Openly express that forgiveness, because holding on to that resentment resentment, holding on to that hurt, holding on to that pain, whether you notice it or not, or whether it feels like you're holding on to it or not, right? Holding on to it will ultimately hold you back and hold you into the past, and ultimately you're going to be recreating, you know, more feelings of pain, more feelings of resentment, more feelings of just hurt. Forgiveness will literally set you free and allow your mind and allow your heart to truly just live in the space that's going to take you to who you want to become or where you want to go. I think the most important person to forgive as well is yourself, right? I know that I personally, you know, in the past, I held on to just a lot of things that I felt like I could have done differently, whether that's within relationships with other people, my friendships, within business, within my career path. Like, there were just so many things that I wasn't even forgiving myself for, you guys. And honestly, you know, that could be something that's holding you back as well. What I would say all of these things are is just like blind spots, right? These are blind spots in your mind that you probably don't even realize are holding you back, but truly can be. So mentally decluttering, letting go of the past, welcoming in the new, and stepping into the new version of yourself is what's needed. Okay, so step number 2 that I'm going to be personally taking to literally level up my life, okay, reinvent myself, rebrand, is adopting the right habits, behaviors, and mindsets. There's so much power, you guys, in developing strong habits, or developing habits that are serving your goals and where you see yourself or who you see yourself becoming. Habits are truly what rule our lives, whether we like it or not, right? We are habitual creatures, okay? We move within habits. So understanding, you know, those habits that you actually need to set into place and to install into your lifestyle to truly get to where you want to go. And for everybody, those habits may be different. So what I'm personally going to be doing is developing morning and nightly routines, right? Really getting myself in the habit of repetition and doing things consistently on a daily basis. For me, I'm a morning person, so I love to enjoy my mornings. So I see myself waking up around 5 or 6 a.m. so that I have my me time to, you know, journal and to meditate and to pray, you know, to really just, you know, slowly, gradually wake myself up and spend that time where I'm not on social media, spend that time where I'm not on my phone, I'm not checking, you know, emails or DMs or anything like that. It's just me and me, okay? Because this whole process of rebranding yourself and reinventing yourself is you versus you at the end of the day. So do what makes you feel good. You might be a night owl, right? So you might put more emphasis on your nightly routine, or, you know, you might spend more of that time, you know, doing those things at night. But whatever works for you, do what's best for you. But developing that morning routine for me is literally like, it has to happen. It's non-negotiable. Like, it's something that, you know, I'm installing into myself right now. And, you know, I'll definitely come back, you guys, with the morning routine video once I'm, you know, truly consistent, and once I'm really in that flow of just, you know, consistently waking up at a certain time and consistently doing those things that are necessary. But, you know, we'll circle back and we'll create a morning routine video for sure. But, you know, developing that morning routine, developing that nightly routine, you guys, is so important because it helps just your entire schedule to flow on a consistent basis. If you're consistent right when you wake up, if you're consistent right in the morning, but if you're consistent right when you go to bed with doing things that you know you need to do, it's gonna actually cause you to be more consistent with the things that you do throughout your day as well. Like I said, for me, a couple more things is, you know, going to the gym consistently. I don't know if you guys, if you follow me on Instagram at KShrudyB, you saw that I posted that, you know, I've been going to the gym consistently for the past, you know, 7 months. That's a habit that I was installing, you know, towards the end of last year. Reading, right? Reading. I'm a reader. I love to read. So making sure that I incorporate that in my morning or my night routine. So just things that you need to incorporate that will help you feel better and just thrive, honestly, in the morning and at night is super essential. I've never been 100% consistent with, you know, waking up at a certain time and just doing the things that I know that I should be doing to feel my optimal self. So even if it's just me being consistent with my morning routine and my nightly routine, you know, for the next 12 months, like, I'm satisfied, because that's actually a huge accomplishment, and I know that I'm just gonna feel so much better and feel just so much more at peace from the things that I'm actually doing on a daily basis. So step 3 in leveling up your life, rebranding yourself in 2022, girl, is going to be developing systems. And this goes hand in hand with that last step, right? Creating habits and creating systems. Things that you're doing on a weekly basis or that you're putting into your schedule on a weekly basis. I know for me, like I have a specific day that I do laundry. It's a Sunday reset. I do laundry, clean up at my entire house, like literally like declutter in every way, shape, and form. It's something that truly does help me just like reset for the week. I know I spend family time, right? I have certain days throughout the week where I literally block out time to spend with family. You know, it's super important to me. Family is everything to me. Really just, you know, discover and figure out and actually plan out what you're going to be doing on a weekly basis so that your life can literally like move systematically. I'm telling you guys, it helps you to really just get into that flow. Of course, things aren't always going to go as planned. Of course, life is going to happen. Okay, we already know that. But if you're getting out ahead of it, you're installing these systems, you're going to have a better chance at getting done all those things that you need to get done, or getting done those things that are going to make you feel your best at the end of the day so that you can be your best, so that you can do your best. Step number 4, you guys, is going to be setting new boundaries and sticking to them in relationships, boundaries in friendships, boundaries in family, boundaries in work life, etc. I feel like boundaries aren't more so just for the people that we're setting them towards. Boundaries actually show other people how we want to be treated or how we need to be treated in order for them to have access to us. And I feel like boundaries are something that are non-negotiable. Like boundaries are something that you should have set in place for every single aspect of your life. They're gonna boost your self-confidence and your self-respect because you're making sure that you put your self-respect first, right? You're making sure that you put you first.
I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucian.
You understand, you know, how you need to be loved, how you need to be talked to, how you need to be treated, right? In order to truly operate as your best self and to truly be able to give that love back. And you're making sure that the people in your life know exactly what those things are as well. At the end of the day, if you don't respect yourself and if you're not putting out there, you know, your boundaries and what you expect from other people, like how can anybody else respect you? How can your confidence or your self-esteem raise if you're just letting people treat you any kind of way? Self-confidence is going to be the number one thing that you're going to need on this journey of reinventing yourself, that we're both going to need on this journey of reinventing ourselves. Because like I said, you guys, it's a you versus you situation, okay? And if there are people in your life that aren't willing to respect your boundaries, if there are people in your life that aren't willing to respect what you say or how you feel that you need to be loved or cared about or treated, then they can go. Okay, they can go. And that's just me being 100% real, because at the end of the day, this is about you. 2022 is about taking yourself to the next level. And like I said, it's you versus you. And if you're not willing to respect the boundaries that I've set in place for myself, then you don't deserve to be in my life anyway. And lastly, you guys, step number 5 to reinventing yourself, rebranding yourself, and leveling up in 2022 is self-discipline and being harder on yourself. And I know this one is probably not the most attractive step. It's not the step that anybody wants to hear. It's not even a step that I want to hear, okay? Because, you know, self-discipline is something that, you know, I have honestly struggled with in the past. Like I said, we letting all of that go. But I am somebody that is hard on myself already. Of course, you have to show love to yourself at the same time, but there is a fine line between showing love to yourself and not being hard enough on yourself or being too soft on yourself, that you're not even respecting your own boundaries that you set for yourself. So like I said, you set boundaries for other people, you guys, but you also set boundaries and standards for yourself. And self-discipline is truly the key to achieving those goals that you have for yourself and truly becoming the person that you're creating. So honestly, guys, I'm gonna be a lot harder on myself, right? Because if I'm not harder on myself, that allows me to just be lazy, to just let myself nap all the time, or let myself just eat, you know, out all the time and just eat just foods that I know I shouldn't be eating, or allowing myself to watch Netflix too much, right? So these are things that you definitely want to set in place with yourself that are going to be non-negotiable, so that you can actually discipline yourself to truly get to the next level. And honestly, you guys, for me, self-discipline is the highest form of self-love, because it's actually denying yourself of something that you want in the present so that you can actually get ready or prepare yourself for something that you know that you need, or something that you truly want in the future. Basically like a delayed gratification, pushing yourself to do something that you might not want to do in the moment, but that you know that your future self will thank you for later. Like, that is the highest form of self-love. And so for me, I'm gonna be pushing myself a lot harder in these next 12 months. I'm gonna definitely be making sure that I'm on top of my self-discipline so that I can get to where I want to go and where I know that I need to be. Also, not comparing yourself to other people or other people's journey, you guys. This is something that, you know, even in the past 2 years, I got super caught up in. I'm not gonna lie. It's comparing myself to other people and other people's journeys when nobody's posting their failures on social media. Nobody's posting, you know, their down moments, but trust me, everybody has them, okay? So stop comparing yourself to people or situations or people's journeys that you have no idea what they're really going through behind the scenes, and not caring about what anybody else has to say about it, because at the end of the day, this is what you want to do and this is what you need to do for your life, for your rebrand, for your reinvention, okay, and for your level up in this season. Because I truly, like I said, I feel like you guys, this is the perfect time to step into a new version of yourself, the perfect time to create a completely new life for yourselves, okay, and myself included, because like I said, these next 12 months are personal. But essentially that wraps it up for today's video, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, definitely be sure to give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below on what you guys want to see next, and subscribe to my channel. I'm super excited just to bring more content like this, to truly take you guys on this journey with me, because the level up is real, and like I said, it is personal in 2022. With that being said, you guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.